This is another episode of Spade Talk, where I connect with out-of-the-box thinkers and executors for a value-driven conversation. Today, I'm joined with an entrepreneur, business owner, a man in the skilled trades, someone that has a very strong mentality, and an overall savage. Bren, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm great. So we actually connected through our mutual friend, Noah.
Yep.
And I'm really getting to know you, right, as of late. How'd you guys connect?
Funny enough, I saw him on TikTok one day, and I hit him up, and I was like, oh, this guy's in Hamilton. He's a stock trader. We had a couple things in common, right? We'll just leave it off the podcast. We had a couple things in common.
100%.
I hit him up, and then he hit me back in the DMs, and he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I joined this Discord and stuff. So I started like chatting it up in the Discord with everyone. And then funny enough, like the next weekend, he had like a mastermind, you could say. You were there at Kawabunga.
Yeah.
We all pulled up at Kawabunga. You pulled up. That's where I met you and Aaron. Shout out Aaron. But yeah.
Okay, that's wicked. I didn't know that you guys. I thought that you guys knew each other because you all lived in the same city. But that's powerful. Like how you can just meet someone online that
it opened my eyes. It really did.
Where
social media is powerful.
100%. Where this person that online is a stranger shares like so much in common with you versus sometimes the people that you know.
Yeah, it goes to show you, like, if you're scared to post something, don't be scared, because like you could like reach out to a certain audience you didn't know you could reach out, and build and network connections you didn't know you could network, right? And then from there, like, you can branch off, and who knows what you can do, right?
So I want to know a little bit about your story, but we'll start with the business side of things. So you have a pressure washing company, correct?
Yes, Pressure Point Wash.
It's super cool from what I've seen so far. So explain it to the people that don't know what pressure washing is.
Basically, it's, well, my services, there's different types of pressure washing. Obviously, right now I'm focused on residential. So I go in and I'll clean up your driveway, patios, like a soft wash on a house, pressure wash a fence, and then treat it after with stain, etc. There's a bunch of different like services you could say I offer, but yeah, just overall, just basically maintaining like properties.
The before and afters are
crazy.
Crazy, yeah. So how'd you get into that?
Honestly, man, I was at a stage of my life where I got laid off from my job, and I was money hungry, right? So I was just like brainstorming like different business ideas. And I was like window washing. I'm like, I don't know about that. And then like I saw this guy on TikTok doing pressure washing. I'm like, I could do that. So like I sat down for a while. I did all my research, because it's not just, go buy a pressure washer and go out. It's not as easy as that. You got to like take your time and go in depth and look at the specs. Like, for example, like you need like a 4 gallon per minute machine, like to push out a certain PSI to clean certain materials. Because if you have a weaker machine, you're going to be all day cleaning a piece of concrete. But if you have a proper machine, like your ROI, or like return on investment, is way better, because you can clean it up way quicker, right? So then you have to figure out like what solutions you have to use on concrete. Like there's different chemical solutions you can put down to pre-treat before to make it clean up nicer. So there's a lot of different research you got to do. And then the marketing is a whole different ball game, like going up sales. Because I started like going door to door. Like I didn't have a uniform or nothing. I bought my pressure washer off Marketplace. It was broken. I fixed it up.
Okay.
And then I started going door to door. And then that's how I started my business, door to door. A lot of people, bro. Door to door is sometimes bad, like door slamming in your face. But yeah.
You got to go through it, though. I've done door to door sales, inside sales, all of that stuff. So that process in and of itself, you look back at it now and you can like smile and laugh. Obviously, going through it is challenging. But how long you been doing this business for?
2.5 years now.
And I remember you telling me that your first year in business was completely different than your second year in business.
Completely different.
So what was that change? Because I know you told me off camera, right? But I want the viewers to get the value is, what was the biggest game changer from year 1 to year 2?
So year 2 was when I decided to go into digital marketing. And shout out my boy Angel, AD Cuts. He's the one that put me on that, because he's a barber, and he just edits his videos and posts it on Instagram and stuff and TikTok, and not running ads, all organically, and he was bringing in clients. He was like, oh, come on, do it. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, because personally, I don't know about you, but when I see an advertisement on Instagram or Facebook, I just swipe past, you know? So like I just thought like if everyone's doing that, why would I waste my time doing that? I was like, you know what? I'll try it. I edit some videos. I did it. Like I paid for an ad, and I just started getting all these leads, and I was like, what the heck? This is awesome. And then from there, I would get the leads, go out, quote the job, and I would be banging off jobs. So it really opened a door for me because this year, for an example, I didn't knock a single door. I just purely did digital marketing on Instagram. So
Wow. So all your sales came from there.
I didn't touch a door this season.
Yeah, it's like 2024, like, advertising and the way commercialization and everything is completely different. The landscape's different.
You got to think about it this way. Like door-to-door sales is like really good because like just talking to people and like social aspect, it's good, right? Because you can like persuade people. But digital marketing, where is everyone on nowadays? Dude, half of them are on their phone swiping. If you look at like people over here, I bet you they're just on their phone swiping on TikTok or Instagram. Bro, if everyone's doing that, just put your stuff where they are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Did you find that TikTok or Instagram was better?
Instagram for sure. I didn't try as hard on TikTok because I feel like Instagram just had a better layout, and I feel like TikTok was a majority of like younger people, and I'm trying to target like the older audience that have houses and stuff like that.
Yeah, interesting. One of my mentors right now that I'm working with, he told me you got to get on TikTok, and I'm like just on one platform, Instagram, but I listened to a podcast, I believe it was 2 days ago, and he was saying that on average, people are spending 28 minutes per day on Instagram and 90 minutes on TikTok. So he's like, just on pure math, people are spending three times more on TikTok than Instagram. And that just changed like my mentality on it, because like you got to go where the attention goes, but obviously every audience is different per offer. Like you said, you would get ads on like on Instagram and swipe. I'd pretty much do the same until it's something that you need, you know?
Well, another thing is like when you edit your video, you gotta there's different hooks you can put in the beginning of them, you know what I mean, to catch the viewer's attention. It's like, for an example, for me, when I would be like, hey, Hamilton, and instantly, like, if you've seen that, you're gonna be like, I live in Hamilton, let me watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Other than pressure washing, you'd be like, whatever, swipe. But if you catch them and you like your first second of that video has to catch the viewer's attention, you know what I mean? And then they'll continue watching. That's another thing, marketing strategy.
That's awesome. Where do you plan on taking this business?
The shitty part about this business is it's seasonal. If I, like right now, I'm a full-time plumbing apprentice. If I lived in Florida, I lived in somewhere, I would 100% take the risk and I would just do this full-time. I'm confident enough that I know I could make enough money and do this full-time. But here in Canada, it's seasonal, right? So when winter comes, like I'm not trying to do snow removal and all that. It's not my thing, right?
Yeah.
I sold my truck. I have a car now. It's cheaper on gas. So yeah.
Okay. And so you are an apprentice.
Yes.
Right? That's wicked. A lot of people now are kind of pivoting towards blue collar, skilled trades. And I believe the landscape is changing on how people are viewing that. How did you get started on your journey with that?
I actually started doing drywall. So I have some family that worked in a drywall business. So right off the bat, before that, I've done a lot of things. I was a car mechanic, and I did masonry work, and I did framing, and now like I did drywall. So drywall's a good skill to learn, but at the time I knew I'm too good for I don't mean I'm too good for this, but like I know I have more potential than this. Like I find it pretty easy, right? So then I'm like plumbing. Plumbing is a good trade to get into because everywhere you look, there's plumbing. You know what I mean? So like every toilet, like every sink, everywhere. So I know like if I built an apprenticeship via plumbing, I feel like the ROI on that in 10 years from now is going to be crazy because 99% of people our age group nowadays just wants to do stuff online. But I feel like working with your hands and like a blue collared business in the future could be elite.
100%. And what's really cool about it is because I'm in the trucking transportation industry. Yeah. And when you look at these industries in terms of like the skilled trades, these are the things that are like mandatory for society to function.
Exactly.
And a lot of the times, especially over the last few years, it's kind of become uncool to do those things for a little bit. I think the pendulum's swinging back to really seeing the value in these things. Yes. And one of those figures was
Justin Walker.
Yes, was Justin. I love that guy. He has like a whole like construction business, and the thing I like about these businesses is they're real, they're tangible. Yeah. The whole online space is cool, but I feel like, you know, people that do e-commerce, people that do this, there's no real tangible asset that's attached to it. So with these services, it's like on demand, ongoing. And for anybody that is kind of maybe in a crossways of life right now and trying to figure out, what steps should I take? I would say look into some skilled trades, because one is it's a skill that you'll have forever, and two is very high earning potential. And if you set up the right systems, it can be very rewarding. Yeah.
So another thing you said, like it's a high skill to have. Like I used to do drywall, right? Right now, like I'm like on the side, I'm building a barbershop for my buddy Angel, like 80 cuts or whatever.
Sick.
So like that's another thing. Like skill stacking is another elite thing, because like I've done masonry. Okay, I know how to work with brick and mortar. Okay, well, on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. Now, even though I'm not a drywaller no more, I don't do drywalling, but I still have that skill. So now when someone needs it, like I can offer that high income skill for money. You know what I mean? And then plumbing too. Like plumbing and drywall and the trades go hand to hand. Like I'm doing the flooring, the baseboard, the drywall, the taping, the painting, everything at his shop there. So everything just like, it's a ball and it just consistently compounds, and then you can use your high income skills, trade for cash. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Like one of my long-term goals is, when I have like the absolute time and resources to do it, is to build like my own home. So I'd obviously have probably builders out there, but be part of that process of learning how to build a home from like scratch on a piece of land. Yes. Like I feel like that's one of the most manliest things you could do. Yes. Right. So, but all of these skilled trades are important for the ecosystem, right, of the home and society and whatnot.
I think Justin Walker said it the best. I don't know if you've seen this clip, but he's like, oh, for an example, I go on a date with this girl and she asks what I do. She's like, oh, I'm in the construction business. I hang steel. And then from what she knows, she's like, oh, I went on a date the other weekend. This guy owns a software company. You know what I mean? She's going to be like, oh, that even though he could be making 30 million from his business and he could be making 5 million, but she automatically, a software company, Miami. Oh, that's cool. You know, that's better.
Yeah.
In her mind. So chicks think differently, you know. That's another thing. You can't just focus on the girls, dude. You just honestly, as a man, like you got to focus on like the gym, making money, and then the girls will come to you. The people that just straight focus on girls and partying, bro, they're just beta males, dude. Honestly,
purpose over pleasure, right? That's it's always been the motto, but I feel like it's been popularized more as of late as people are having these conversations. But one thing that I don't like about that conversation is I find that it's kind of like the genders are battling each other when we're supposed to complement each other, you know? And I blame the guys most of the time for this, right? Where it's like if you're just on your purpose, then like the proper partner is going to come, and then that partner is supposed to compliment you, you compliment them, and y'all make each other better. Yeah. Versus I feel like when people are talking now, it's more of like, guys are shit, girls are shit. And I don't think that's conducive, right, to society, man. Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 22. I turned 23 December.
Wow. So I'm 28.
Yeah.
Good couple years on you. But like I feel like that's probably almost another generation down. How is like navigating that landscape, the relationships and shit?
Just in like, what do you mean? Like via like social media and just stuff like that?
What's your take on an ideal relationship for yourself?
For me personally, like I feel like it's harder to find a female nowadays that's like low key off social media, that does her own thing, that's a homebody, just takes care of herself. Like versus then the girl that's trying to go out to the club every weekend, drink with her girlfriends, you know what I mean? Like if you're dating like if you meet a girl and you ask her, oh, what are you doing this weekend? She's like, oh, my friend has this and my other friend does this and I'm going out with this girl and I'm going to this party. You're gonna be like, okay, like that's like, but versus, oh, nothing much. Probably just gonna stay home, hang out with my cats, probably study. You know what I mean? That's more attractive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. No offense to girls like that, but like me personally, that's how like I like a female that is like level-minded and knows what she wants and like has a somewhat of a maybe entrepreneurial mindset and is good with money and you know what I mean, has a good relationship. Basically, you're looking for a female that can raise your kids properly. You want to like her to be like a sister to your mom, be a mom to your kids. You know what I mean?
Most guys your age don't think like that, though.
I
You know,
know.
I feel like you have a mature view on it, because back in the days they never really had dating, right? It wasn't. It was real courtship, right? So when you're with someone, you're committed and you're looking to build something long term. But now I think just like the attention spans have gone down, I feel like commitment levels have gone down. Yeah. And it really shows as well, like pivoting on this same topic is like the commitment in friendships, right? Yeah. That people have, like in terms of, how close is this person, right, to you, and do they really got your back? For real.
For sure.
You start seeing that stuff when you open a business, put yourself out there more. You start seeing like the nuances of human psychology. Yeah. Even from your closest friends. Like sometimes strangers will support the shit that you got going on more than the people that you know will. Yeah. You've experienced that?
I know what you mean, bro.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. So you've networked, and through networking, we've met, right? So what are those things that you do, right, to help you connect with like-minded individuals?
Well, so my buddy is a barber, right? He cuts a lot of different people. So he cuts like a high margin, so like $80 per cut. So usually the people that are going to come see him are business owners, CEOs, or you know what I mean? They have money. And then you can, like, I met a couple of people through him, like people that are like drop shipping, digital marketing, all that kind of stuff, right? Like, but from there, yeah, it's definitely
yeah. So it's basically what I'm getting from that is the way you can connect to higher level people or people that are on the same ways is by connecting with higher level people that connect you, right?
Not even if I have like a client for my pressure washing, like I pick their brains. Like if I'm working on a mansion, this guy has a Rolls Royce and a Jaguar and stuff, I'm going to go out, I'm going to ask him for a story, like how he got here, you know what I mean? I'm going to pick his brain and tell him, if you go back to my age, what would you do differently? And I talk to everyone like that. And just from picking everyone's brain, you can get a good sense of how all the successful people kind of made it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It all starts with here, like your mindset. Is the only difference between the person out there and us in here is this. Not that. That's it. It's the way you think and the way you perceive things, and that's like the overall thing I take from successful people.
Okay, so let's take it back. I want to know how growing up in Hamilton was like, and what's your backdrop? What's your story?
So my family is from Ireland, but like I was born here, right? So I grew up in Hamilton. I've been in Hamilton my whole life. Funny, I was thinking about this in the shower this morning. I was like, what was like my first like entrepreneurial like upbringing? And I remember like when I was a kid, I must have been like 7 or 8 or something. I like collected all my toys, and then my mom was sleeping, my dad was at work, and I got all my toys and I got a table, and I wrote with Sharpie like different prices and stuff for these toys. I went outside by myself. I sat on my front lawn. I just made a little yard sale for myself, and I was just waiting for money to come by. I've always, from a young age, I've always thought about money like differently. I couldn't grasp the fact that someone was working for a set amount per hour. And like I am doing it right now, so I'm not like dissing people that do it, but like in the long run, I'm not going to be doing that. I feel like there's so many other things you could do, and once you see like the entrepreneur lens, and like once you work for yourself once, you do it for a few times, you realize like, okay, like this is what it's like. I could go work a job for 4 hours, make $1,000, or I could go to work and work 9 hours, and after tax, take home like 200 something bucks. it's not really worth it, right? I don't know. I think everyone should just work for themselves at least once in their life just to understand what it's like. But it's not for everyone. Some people like to go to work and have that safety net knowing they're going to get that set amount at the end of the week, right? So it's not for everyone, but I just think everyone should experience that at least like one time in their life for sure.
Absolutely. So how would your friends describe you in high school?
Man, you're going to put me on blast. I was like a little hood rat in high school, to be honest. This mindset I have now, I was never that kid in high school, other than like selling stuff. Like I would chop stuff, sell stuff, you know what I mean? And like all my friends in high school would have jobs and stuff, and I would sell sneakers, flip clothes, like sell vapes or, sell other stuff, you know what I mean? And like they would be working and stuff for $15 an hour or whatever. And I would just go sell something for $100, you know what I mean?
What do you think influenced that lifestyle?
Into like selling things?
No,
into just being a hood rat?
Yeah, that. Because when you say hood rat, it's more of a mentality than anything, right?
It's definitely your group and who you want to be around. At that stage in high school, you think it's like a popularity game. You want to hang out with the cool guys, you know what I mean? And at the time, like the cool guys were all the hood rats and all the gangsters and all the guys that are stealing cars, selling drugs, all that kind of stuff. But as you grow up, you realize that it's just a waste of time and it's just really stupid, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your end game? Like 10 years from now, where are you trying to be?
Man, I'm trying to be a successful business owner. I'm trying to have some properties to my name.
Okay, let's take the finances out of it. Because success is all encompassing, right? So you have the resources, you have the time, you've built the businesses. What does your life look like?
Overall, I want to be fit. I want to be healthy, like going to the gym all the time. By then, I'll probably have some kids. I want to be able to give my kids the life that I never really got to experience, like take them on trips, take care of my wife, whoever that's going to be when the time comes. Basically, just having an abundant life. You know what I mean? Like money can only get you so far, and people always think, "Oh, I'm obsessed with money." I'm not obsessed with money. I'm obsessed with what money brings you. And money brings you freedom, and once you have that freedom, you can experience life the way it's supposed to be lived. We're not supposed to go to work every day and slave for money. You know what I mean?
So I agree. Well, the world runs on money, and that's currency. If you go deep on it, it's not even real, right? Right now. Printed, so it's just chopped, and it's not real, and you don't have enough of it either. So you go down that rabbit hole, that's chopped. Yeah. But there's a quote that I heard long ago, and it says, "You ain't really free till you free within." What's your soul saying? What's your spirit saying?
Yep.
How's that for you right now?
My soul saying, like, as of right now in this present moment?
Yeah, or in this chapter of life.
Man, I know I'm never going to be this young and healthy again. As I get older, I'm probably going to get more brittle and stuff, like as I work in the trades. I just got to experience life, like, every day, just live it every day. Because even though if I don't have the money right now, I know in the future I'm going to have it. I'm going to have a successful business. I'm not going to have to worry. Right now, in my 20s, I'm just trying to build, you know what I mean? And that's, like, another thing that a lot of people, like, when I talk to them, like, successful millionaires, business owners, they tell me, like, they're like, "Oh, I wish I started sooner." They're like, "Oh, in my 20s, I just partied it up. I didn't care. And when I was in my mid-30s, that's when I kind of started to take things seriously." But if I do that now while I'm 20, like, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to have some fun here and there, but I'm not going to be an idiot and go out every weekend, go to the bars and all that. It's not my expertise no more, you know what I mean? But definitely, it's better to build in your 20s to be an overvalued 30-year-old than not building your 20s and be an undervalued 30-year-old. And that's a quote from Alex Hormozy.
With your mentality, man, like, you got the years, you got the youth, right? It's going to happen. It's going to come. Outside of business, fitness, what are some of the passions or some of the things, you like to do, or some things that people don't know about you?
Man, I'm really big into hockey. I love the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay.
I love hockey.
You love the disappointing Maple Leafs, yo?
And it's coming. The next 4 years, we're getting a cup, baby.
4 years, huh?
Next 4 years for sure. Yes.
What gives you that timeline, man?
Just like the overall roster we have now, and like the way our team's built. Like our team's never really been this strong, and like we just need to break the curse, man. We broke the curse last year. We made it to the second round.
Yeah.
And like I feel like the next 4 years we'll have a cup.
Mm-hmm.
Yourself with other people that didn't have the entrepreneurial mindset, or what?
For me, I feel like Toronto, GTA in general, for people that don't know, Hamilton is in the greater Toronto area, you know, because we actually have viewers from like all over the world.
Oh, yeah?
Already,
Sweet.
you know, the analytics are showing and all of that. But in terms of the people in Toronto, I feel like there are a few gems here. Like there are a few really good, like-minded individuals with a mentality that is undeniable and with that killer instinct. I'm talking about the killer instinct, not in like, the aggressive way, but that killer instinct of that drive.
Yeah, for sure.
But now you mix that drive with genuinity and authenticity. That's rare. Right? And then you mix that with skill sets of communication is rare. Mm-hmm. So I found that 99.9% of the people in this city are just in their own bubble or box. But even the people that are the ones you want to connect with, they might not have the communication skills to connect. You get what I'm saying? Because I found that I'm really great at the skill of communicating, and I want to make shit happen. I love bringing people together. I love throwing events. That's just one of my passions. Like I feel like an artist when I do it. It's a vision, and I bring it to life.
Yeah, kind of like that workout thing we had.
Yeah, like the workout we had through a bunch of different things. Like throughout the years, I've thrown like leadership events, speaking engagements, like networking events, parties and stuff. So different stuff, you know, boot camps, workouts. I love that. I love bringing people together and doing that. But I find that when you're good at it, you're the one constantly doing it, and that's not ideal and that's not good. It's got to be reciprocal in that sense. So you find that even though you share certain traits with certain people, and it's rare already to connect because you already feel like an outlier in the bunch, that with that is like you got to find the people that are willing to put in the effort to build those ties and bonds and relationships. And so that's what I've been finding, that's my observation on it.
For sure. I 100% agree.
Yeah. Okay. So we're back. Let's talk books, man.
Okay.
Right? What's like the last book that you read?
I just started The Alchemist, literally just started it, but the last book I read was Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits. So I haven't read that book. I know a couple friends that have picked up that book. What are your biggest takeaways?
Man, there's a lot of like self-improvement and habit books out there, but like James Clear he just explains it so much easier.
You liked it?
Yeah, I liked it. It's basically like the sum of it is like you can get 1% better every day. And usually like some people like the example, you drop something and usually you just pick up later. If you just pick it up now, that's 1% and you're getting better if you do 1% better every single day, eventually over time, like it shows you like a chart and stuff that like by the like it compounds, like consistency compounds, right? And then like you're overall a whole better person a year from now. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And another thing is if you're gonna do something, you gotta think as in like the person you're doing it. So like when you say you're gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna go to the gym, but it's better to think, okay, like I'm like a bodybuilder, I'm gonna go to the gym. You know what I mean? Or if you're gonna, I'm gonna write this book, you gotta think like an author. I'm an author. You know what I mean? You gotta have that different mindset. And he also explains that in the book too. But
Mm.
there's a bunch of different gems that if you just sit there and read it, it's just like it clicks. And like for me, like I was reading it when I was in Japan, and I was like off work and stuff, and I was reading it, and I had a lot of bad habits, so I was trying to like, why not? I'll read it. And then as soon as I came back, I always like make sure like it's like systems, like when you're done your shower, like you make sure you put all your dirty clothes away, you don't leave them on the ground, like stuff like that. You create these systems, and then they're just in your brain. You know what I mean? You automatically do them.
Yeah, habit systems is huge, man. Those are some gems. I personally, I'm always looking to get myself better in that sense.
Yes.
Setting up the systems, making sure my environment is proper, clean, organized. That is like a reflection of my mental state for real.
It is.
And so, yeah, those type of habits and those type of systems are ideal. You went to Japan.
Yes.
I actually just had one of my good buddies, Zach, on the podcast. Going to be dropping soon. He went to Japan as well. He was there for like 4 years, back in 2000, from 4 to 8, you know? And so he tells me about his experience there, but how's your experience in Japan?
And I haven't really been outside of like Hamilton really, man. So like that was like my first real trip. And over there, it's honestly like a different planet over there, dude. It's just so unreal. Everyone's like so nice to you, you know what I mean? Like no one really speaks English, but like they see you like I was a white guy over there. People are coming to like take photos with me and stuff because I'm a white guy, and everyone's so nice, like trying to give you stuff, trying to buy you stuff. It's unreal, man. It really is.
What prompted this trip?
So I have a cousin that lives over there, and teaches English over there. She's planning on moving back soon. I was like, she's been bugging me to come over. I'm like, well, this is my last chance. Like I got like if I in this one city, I got a free place to stay in one city. Why not, right? So I go over there while I'm staying in her city. I would stay at her house and stuff. And I also had like technically a free tour guide because she's been there for like years and years and years. So like we went to all these different cities like Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Otsu, and then we actually went to an island off of Japan. It's called Okinawa, and it's unreal, man.
What was your favorite city?
City? Damn. Probably Naha. Naha, it was they have a bunch of wild deer, and they're just tamed to humans. They're like dogs. You literally walk like it's unreal, dude. It's hard like from being here and going over there. It's like it's just a bunch of wild deer. They come up to you and they want pets and stuff. It's like there's like a dog, but they're everywhere.
I've never heard of Naha. You hear about Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
What's another really cool experience that you got out there?
Okinawa was really cool. It was an island off of Japan, technically Japan still, but like from going from mainland Japan to an island, just like the vibes and how everyone is just different because they're like island people, completely different. Like Hawaii, like it was just like Hawaii, like palm trees, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, everyone was so nice, like on the train or whatever. Like people would get up, oh no, sit down, like just because like they're not used to seeing a white guy. Like, oh wow, like you know what I mean? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love Japan's culture and history.
And the food over there, dude, unreal. Like no GMOs, no nothing, all natural. That's the number one thing I liked over there was food, bro. Like none of this processed crap we have here in Canada. It's all natural stuff.
You know, like it's like that everywhere except Canada, US, and UK. You know, like I've literally been blessed to be gone to so many places, but Europe, South America, pretty much Africa, all that, like it's all just there's no such thing as like organic and regular. It's like literally just all food.
Yeah,
it's just all food. So
that's why I try to eat as clean as possible, bro. Honestly, it's so worth it for your health. And there's a reason why there's so many like digestive issues in Canada and like the States is because you're eating processed garbage. It's not real food.
And Japan has like all those like cool stores, you know, like all those products, the home of anime. Yeah, like just wicked.
So even just like over like the crime rate over there is like zero, dude. Like people like are leaving their MacBooks on tables. People are leaving their bags at bus stops. The one thing that really blew my mind was this one store you go into. It's kind of like a secondhand thrift store. They have like Bape, Supreme, all those designer stuff. And it was literally the honor system. You go in there and like all the stuff is hanging up on different coat hangers, and the color describes on like how much per product it is. And before you leave, you put it's like pretty much all cash over there. So you put your cash in a box and leave. Store, no one's running the store, no employees, no nothing. And I think everyone it's just the honor system, dude. Even some parking there is the honor system. You would never see that here, dude. Never. You know what I mean? It's just so disciplined over there. And like when I came back to here, I was like, it was like coming back to hell, dude. It was ridiculous. Seeing all the homeless people and stuff. There's like no homeless people over there. And there's, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like the most like civilized country, like one of the biggest ones.
A cool fun fact is Japan, either 2023 or 2024, was rated the best passport to have in the world, right? So you could visit, I believe it was like 192 countries visa-free. Canada's maybe like 5th or 6th. We have a very strong passport and stuff too, but it just goes to show like even Japan's international reputation like is very, very good. I recently watched the TV series a couple months back, maybe like 6-7 months back, but it's called Shogun.
Okay.
One of the best. It's Japanese, based in Japan. Yo, you'd rock with it. You'd rock with it. It's hard. It's in the samurai era of old Japan, and there's the story and pretty much like a long story of the English and the French going into Japan, and how there's this, shogun that pretty much runs all the politics and things that come with it. It's wicked show, man. But I love the culture.
So advanced over there too, man. Like the stuff they have compared to here is like blows my mind. Like most like restaurants are like robots bringing your stuff. Like we have that little bit here, like in Toronto and stuff. They have like some robots bringing your food. Like it's like everywhere over there.
Actually, another cool thing that I learned recently is that the Japanese market moves the world market as well. So if you know, like the NASDAQ and the stock market, pretty much there was like a little bit of a dip a couple weeks ago. And that was because there was something going on in Japan's economy at the time. And so I know there's like 3 or 4 kind of like superpowers when it comes to dictating the world's economy. US, UK, and Japan are definitely like the top movers of that. So just a lot of cool things with Japan, man. And even my boy, when he talked to me about that experience, it was very interesting, man. Yeah, so
it was cool, man, for sure. It was a trip of a lifetime.
Where do you want to go next, if you could?
I want to go to Europe. See what's going on in Europe. Another thing on my bucket list, like one day I want to go to Egypt. Like the pyramids just fascinate me, dude. Like it really does. I think it's just like so crazy how back in the day they could build that without, because I'm a tradesman, like, so I know like dude, it's without machinery and stuff. That's crazy how they built that,
That's where I'm from.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you've seen it?
I've seen it.
So what do you think?
I've seen it for the first time in 2019. And so a lot of years before I even was able to see it. I got to see it a couple times since. I never went on the tour inside, but yeah, from outside it's magnificent. It's crazy because you think it's comprised of a bunch of small stones, but when you go next to it, every stone is so huge. I'm like, my mind is like, I wanted to like climb it one time, I looked at it, I'm like, that's not a climb, that's a trek. Like you have to literally like pull yourself up on each block like to do it.
Yeah, even some of the like the tombs and stuff have like this big marble block that weighs tons, and like they found it, like they got it from like miles and miles and miles away. How the heck, like they must have been like so smart. Like we take them as fools because they're older than us. It was back in the day. But dude, they must have known something we didn't know or something.
Absolutely. They were probably more technologically advanced even than we are now, because we think of modern day Egypt like how it probably was back when the pyramids were built. But the way they describe things in it was like an oasis in the desert. So the pyramids, they were originally
shiny,
white. They were white. Yeah. It was white with a gold tip at the top. Yeah. Right? Now it's just and it's just through the thousands of years, that's when like the dust and stuff covered it, and now it's like the stony stuff you see now. So it's crazy to think. Until this day, they don't have answers to how they built it.
Even I saw this on Joe Rogan's podcast. They said something like, could have been like back in the day that they, you know how we went one route for technology, like engines, electricity, blah blah blah, stuff like that, like naturally aspirated. They could have went like a whole different route we don't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That just kind of opened my eyes to. I'm like, wow, like maybe you never know. Like, who knows? Who knows what they knew?
Yeah. Well, they have like, who knows what we don't know?
Yeah.
Right. Like
even like the writing on the walls in there, like they have like there was one writing where it's like a man and what is it called, a rocket ship, and like it shows like Earth. How the heck did they know Earth was round back then? Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. We take them as fools, but I'm telling you, they're probably smarter than us, man.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Some people say that there were maybe some like alien, extraterrestrial, supernatural help.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I have no clue, man. I'm not trying to get into the conspiracy theory, dude. I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
I wasn't around. What do you think?
I don't know either. I'm not. I out of like all the things that I could think about, I choose not to go down those ones. Like, there's a couple cool conspiracy theories, even though I don't like that whole word or phrase, because usually what happens is, you know, people kind of like assume certain things around that, because we don't know what's true or what's not, how deep anything goes. But in terms of thinking about, I never thought too much about aliens or you know, super beings. I'm focused on making these M's over here.
100%. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll wrap up the podcast soon, but before we go, what's one message that you have for the world?
Your mindset is everything. Don't take advice from someone that you wouldn't trade places with. I always, like, when I first wanted to start a business and stuff, I would talk to people and I would bounce ideas off people, right? But at the end of the day, if they don't have that vision in your head that it's going to work out, right? Like, don't even take what they say into consideration. If you have that vision, just run with it. Honestly, that's what I would say. And your mindset's the biggest thing. Like, your biggest asset is your mindset over everything. So take care of that before you take care of anything.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, brother.